Hi, everyone. Welcome tonight. As you can see, I'm doing this one solo. Dr. Santana couldn't be here, so we pre-recorded our webinar. Tonight's topic is on the supplements that we recommend both for pre-regenerative treatments as well as a adjunct to everyday life and to help you with your cellular function. So I guess with that, we'll hit the pre-recorded webinar, and then I'll be available to answer questions at the end. We'll be talking about each one of these individually in detail. We do have a line that includes collagen and glucosamine chondroitin. Those are two that we'll be talking about. And now here's the pre-recorded webinar.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Dr. John Santana, Dr. Thomas Navy, Michigan Center for Regenerative Medicine. Welcome to our monthly webinars. This is our first webinar for 2024. So happy New Year to everybody. So first off, we just wanted to let you know that the reason why we wanted to do this webinar is because for patients that have been with us for a while, you would know that we prescribe supplements for our patients because we know that there's value to these supplements, and we know that there's more value when we match them with our regenerative medicine procedures.
Yeah, so supplements are good ways to build up your body's nutrients and other building blocks that then we stimulate the body's manufacturing plant, so to speak, and putting those building blocks into real tissue.
Yep. So if you think about it, like it just kind of helps fill in the gaps of what you have in your nutrition. The two things that we always want to talk about with patients as far as prognosis is, number one is how healthy you are. So the healthier you are, the better your outcomes are going to be, the better your stem cells are. And these kind of help you with that. And the second part is, the structure that we're treating.
We're in the process of collecting our data and our numbers that support patients who utilize the supplements actually have stronger looking bone marrow aspiration numbers than our patients who have elected not to take the supplements, such to the point where the numbers are so staggering, very few of our patients going forward elect not to take the supplements. If you're going to go through the process of going and receiving a stem cell procedure, doing everything possible to get your body to get the optimal outcome includes taking our supplements beforehand.
Yep, and then hopefully that's something that we can publish soon within this year, and then I think it's going to be a good game changer as far as proving something that we already think we know, but actually putting it out on paper there and making it true. So we've kind of curated some supplements here that we feel and from what we know are effective in enhancing the things that we do in regenerative medicine. They all have the same qualities of being anti-inflammatory, also being helps with cell formation and also with healing and longevity and things like that. So they all kind of share that common theme, which works with what regenerative medicine is. So for our regenerative medicine protocol, the things that we would prescribe would be these four things: your chondroitin glucosamine, your collagen, and this is our multivitamin protocol, which we call MitoBoost, and this is our Nutrient Boost, which is also a funny name, but it's related to improving your vascularization. So should I start? Okay, I'll start with this is I really like prescribing this. This is a really robust multivitamin regimen. In my personal opinion, is that everyone should be taking a multivitamin, because even though if we have a normal diet, there's still some gaps in our nutrition that can be filled by these. So this is just a very robust vitamin and mineral supplement. So you have your vitamin A, B, C, D, all that stuff. It has like minerals here as well. The important ones that I think the reason why we use this for regenerative medicine protocol is that it has resveratrol. Resveratrol is one of these phytonutrients or polyphenols that is found in red wine, where, as you know, with red wine, there's data to show that it helps improve your longevity. So it works in different ways. It's a potent anti-cancer medication. It has certain pathways as far as reducing inflammation. So it controls your COX-1 and your COX-2. These are your inflammatory components that your blood follows for inflammation. It's actually an interesting fact. It's a UV protectant as well. So the idea is because it helps the grapes get damaged from UV rays from the sun. So it's helpful for your skin as well. It has some anti-cancer properties, and then it also helps modulate your hormones too. So it's a really important supplement for longevity as well as cancer care and for regenerative medicine. The other things that it has here too, it also has green tea extract, also the same kind of realm as the polyphenols that we have with resveratrol. So it's a lot of these things that's going to be helpful for that.
We won't get into the dosing, but just know that our blends prescribe not just the right dose, but also the right source. Supplements is an interesting industry because it isn't heavily regulated by the FDA. You really need to trust your source and know that what they're saying is in there is actually in there. And that's part of our job, to vet the companies that are supplying our supplements to know that our patients are actually getting what they say is on the bottle.
Yep. So that's actually a really good point, Dr. Andy, because you can get supplements essentially anywhere, right? So, but the question is, there's hundreds of brands of these. These ones are kind of curated, and we work with a manufacturer, like a major national manufacturer brand for these, and this is how we came up with these supplements. This one is the Nitric Boost. It's got a funny name, but the whole goal for this is that it has citrulline, grapeseed extract, and quercetin. So these supplements, again, they're in that same class of polyphenols, which again has all those properties for regeneration, cancer protection, anti-inflammatory, autoimmune kind of modulating type stuff. So again, in combination with what we know, that this is going to be effective with the procedures that we do.
And if you could comment a little bit on quercetin and the senolytic category, because there's a lot of information in buzzword being senolytics that are starting to emerge in the field, and I think that's a key factor that's in this particular supplement. Fisetin, quercetin are two of the mainstays of senolytics, which is essentially a way of ridding the body out of cells that are about to go through a programmed cell death or that aren't very active. So one of the theories with stem cell and stem cell exhaustion is that as we get older, the total number of stem cells in our body don't necessarily go down, but the number of good ones as a percentage go down and the number of bad ones as a percentage go up. And what these senolytics do is essentially weed out the bad stem cells such that our body can replace them with good ones. So when we're doing our bone marrow harvest, we have a better sense that the cells that we're getting out are going to be very strong and active cells.
Correct. So the one of the components of that is all that works in the mitochondria, right? So a lot of the things that we do is to help the powerhouse of the cell to kind of do all these things. These quercetin and polyphenols that Dr. Navidi was alluding to, they have that effect of preserving that telomere length. So the telomeres are part of your DNA, but actually gives your timeline. So this kind of helps prevent that further degradation and kind of keeps that length where it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Next two are that I'll take. First one is collagen supplement. I think most everybody's heard of that term collagen. It's essentially a long amino acid sequence that's a protein that gives structural integrity to our connective tissues. So things like ligaments, tendons, even cartilage, bones have a large amount of collagen in them. Collagen can be sourced from various different animal sources. And the dose of collagen is an important factor, but probably not as much as the purity. So again, knowing and getting back to your manufacturer is a really important factor. While collagen essentially is collagen, you need to know what they say is supposed to be in the bottle is actually in the bottle. Now, when you ingest collagen, it gets broken down into all of those building blocks of the protein. So it gets broken down into those amino acids. What we do with our regenerative medicine procedures is stimulate, amongst other things, these cells called fibroblasts. which are essentially manufacturing plants that then reassemble the collagen. So if you think about kind of like basically we're recycling, you name it, aluminum here or any raw material, we're taking that raw material in, our body's breaking it down into its basic components, and then we're remanufacturing it back into collagen in the body through stimulating those fibroblasts through our regenerative procedures.
So essentially, we're kind of providing the raw materials that your body would use in order to rebuild your tissues.
And when you look at how collagen functions in the body, it's not just those amino acids, but it's how they also bind to various different vitamins, like vitamin C, that are really important to the structure, the double helix structure of the collagen, to give it that strong integrity. So matching those with the Mito Boost that Dr. Santana alluded to early is really a powerful combination.
Okay.
And then lastly is there it is right here, glucosamine and chondroitin supplement. Glucosamine and chondroitin both involved in creating cartilage. So while the collagen is an important part of cartilage, the other aspect is glucosamine and chondroitin. And they essentially help activate the chondrocytes, which are the cartilage-forming cells. It's a proteoglycan structure, which is a fancier chemistry bond that helps hold in water. So when we look at the degenerative process, one of the hallmarks to that degenerative process is the dehydration of tissues. One of the best examples of that is our discs. Most of us shrink as we get older, and the main reason we're shrinking is because that disc that goes in between the bones is starting to dehydrate and get smaller. So by making sure our body has sufficient amounts of glucosamine and chondroitin, same thing as we activate those fibroblasts that we alluded to earlier, and the chondrocytes with our stem cell procedure, all the raw materials that those cells need in order to make new cartilage, in order to make new connective tissues, is present if our patients are taking their adequate doses of their supplements.
Okay. And then just to reiterate the fact, like in Europe, chondroitin and glucosamine are actually prescription medications to treat arthritis. And there's data that shows that high doses of chondroitin and glucosamine can actually help preserve your cartilage and even improve it as well. And all these things kind of work synergistically together. So all these supplements kind of work in specific areas, but they all kind of in conjunction with each other, they're combining this strong protective and regenerative effect to the areas that we're treating.
These supplements are good to take prior to and during that first month of your regenerative procedure, which is essentially what we're recommending all our patients do. But they're also good supplements to take in general,
lifelong, yeah.
for age management, slowing that degenerative process that is chronological aging. And so I can attest to, I take these supplements on a daily basis. And it's something that I find very important in my longevity journey.
Yep. And then the other ones that's not part of our regenerative protocol, but we also offer too, are important, is this K2 D3 complex. So vitamin D is a very important vitamin in our body. We use it for a lot of things. It actually works as an enzyme for a lot of chemical reactions and hormonal reactions in the body. So it's involved in a lot of things. There's properties of vitamin D for immune regulation as well as inflammation as well. So this is something that I think is also helpful. Helps with, prevents getting illness and getting sick and stuff like that.
Osteoporosis is probably one of the most common things that most people associate with vitamin D, but it has a lot more effects in the body. Mm-hmm. If we could go back and rename it, I think we probably wouldn't call it a vitamin. We'd call it more like a hormone. It has a lot of coenzyme signaling things in the body. It's quite critical, and living in Michigan, a very important supplement to take, especially this time of year, the darker months.
Yeah. Yep.
Another one that we recommend and have as a separate supplement is our Resveratrol Plus. Resveratrol Plus, not just resveratrol, but other phenols that Dr. Santana was alluding to earlier, really helps with preventing that joint degradation pathway that is the hallmark of arthritis, and all those benefits that he alluded to earlier with resveratrol at a slightly higher dose in our Resveratrol Plus supplement for those that maybe don't need everything that's in the multivitamin, but really want to focus on the resveratrol. And then lastly,
Inflammation Plus. So this one is a combination of glucosamine and chondroitin. Yes, like quercetin on there again. So again, for somebody who's suffering from joint pains or back pain, stuff like that, so just controlling that inflammation is helpful too. But not even just for pain, just controlling too much inflammation in your system, in your body, can also lead to overall health. It helps prevent diseases, cancers, and other things.
Yeah, so it's things over the years that we've been prescribing individually, and then through the process of collecting data and getting experience from our patients and feedback from our patients, following the pathways that have led to the greatest success, has led us into developing this line of supplements. It's something we're happy to announce we now have available online for our patients who have seen us in the office, but also anyone who might just be visiting our website. If you wanted to experience the benefits for yourself, you don't necessarily have to come in for an appointment. You only have to call for a telemedicine appointment. These are things that can be ordered directly from our website.
Yep, so the website is www.regenerativeMedicineMichigan.com, and under the supplements tab, it should be able to order directly from our website.
I appreciate everybody that's tuned in. And all right, welcome back. So thank you for everybody watching. Hopefully that was informative. A couple questions that have come in. Number one, is there any potential interactions? And that's definitely something to consider anytime you start a supplement, whether it's over the counter, something that doesn't require a doctor's prescription or not. Happy to answer those sorts of questions via email, support@mcfrm.com. If you have any concerns about potential interactions that your medicines might have with our supplements, we'd be happy to answer those. Again, over the internet, and email is fine. Doesn't necessarily require a formal appointment. Other questions that come in regarding supplements other people are taking from other sources. I don't pretend to know every manufacturer that's out there. There are lots of good manufacturers that don't necessarily provide us our product. We do have our own label on our product. That doesn't mean that we have our own manufacturing plant by any means. We've just done our due diligence and our own research in finding the supplements that we think are going to be best for ourselves and our patients. And that's why we feel comfortable endorsing this brand. But if you have specific questions about your brand or your line, we'll answer them to the best of our abilities. Dose and just to reiterate what we talked about in the webinar, dose and quality are two of the main important factors in making sure you're taking the right supplement for you and the indication that you're looking to take the supplement for. Other questions coming in regarding supplements that we don't offer. There are lots of other supplements obviously out there that have great effects in the body and that can help with that degenerative process that we call aging. And we're trying to figure those out, we being the scientific community. Things like one of the questions is on NMN, another one on nitric oxide. Where we're at right now with supplements and age management in general is a little bit how I look at marketing. When you spend marketing dollars, it's tough to track which ones are effective and which ones aren't. The old adage is 50% of what you're spending on marketing is working and 50% isn't, and good luck trying to figure out which 50% is working and which one's not. With the age management, we need time. We need decades to determine what's effective, what's not. Big studies. There are currently clinical studies going on. Me personally, as long as something is safe, it makes physiologic sense why it would work in the body, and it's affordable. to me, it's worth trying. So I incorporate a lot of supplements in my personal supplement program. We try to have that same approach with our patients, making a priority list of what we feel is most important for them, and then working our way down until people feel like they have enough supplements involved. Last question I think we'll take tonight is regarding vitamin D and dosing of vitamin D. Depending on, vitamin D is one of those vitamins and supplements that we can actually measure in your body. So depending on what your baseline levels are, dosing recommendations can go anywhere from 500 international units to 50,000 international units. So from a regular standpoint, I say anywhere from 500 to 1,000 is probably a good healthy dose to take on a regular daily basis. But vitamin D is one of those supplements that has multiple different routes of administration, whether it's orally or injectable. So that would be a case-by-case example that we would actually want to maybe do some blood work to evaluate what dose of vitamin D would be most effective for you. Also, symptoms that you're treating. Treating osteoporosis with vitamin D is different than treating a regenerative procedure if someone's trying to maximize or optimize their recovery from, say, a stem cell or a PRP procedure. So I hope you all found this valuable, informational. Again, we are now offering this line of supplements for purchase through our website, as well as through our office. It's regenerativemedicinemichigan.com is our website, and our office number 248-216-1008. I hope you all are having a great start to your year. We look forward to helping as many of you as we can with both your orthopedic issues as well as helping you choose the best supplements to improve your overall health and overall function. So thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you all next month.